really found in my own growth over the years, that sustaining what you have achieved is paramount to growth. Can be very sensitive, very needy, can be very talented and gifted. If you don't have this deep instinct of sustaining, and that is the energy, the most expensive and valuable material in the world, you will not grow. You will go like a ping pong, up and down until at a certain point of your life, you'll be tired and you'll begin to give up. And then life is just a very sad array of days come in and days go out, and all you're doing is trying to survive. Sustaining is essential, and not just talking about it or understanding it in the brain, but you do it in the actual day-to-day, and it is heart-wrenching, it's hard. I know in myself, I went through a change the last few weeks, major change, and I see how everything in life trying to take it away from me. Everything. Because what changes is the relationship to your close ones change. The people who are closer to you. Everything is different. They will try and be them, and being them means trying to pick and knock that which you have achieved. Not consciously but unconsciously, out of being threatened or just being what they are. And you as a human being have to really have this extra strength that your growth has given you, and hold on to the changes. Maybe 10, 20, 30%, there's a slide off, that's okay. But you have to sustain the rest of it, otherwise you're really going into a merry-go-round. And I know I'm talking, of course, from my own experience. For years, I understood it in my brain when I was a young aspirant, but I could not really do that. It meant really detaching from people in a way where an emotional person is the hardest thing for them to do. Because you have to give up these emotions. When you see somebody who doesn't always understand what's going on with you, and you're like a spaceship detaching from Earth, and you view the Earth from up there, and you have a tremendous sense of compassion, but there's nothing you can do but let them someday, whenever in this life, another life, catch up. This is the hardest thing about your inner changes. You don't go and separate from people. You stay there as a rock, but you are more detached. You don't have to go down to their level because you love them. You have to try and bring them up because you love them. And bring them up, it doesn't always work. They have their own karma and their own time. And watching that makes your heart break. That is the hardest thing about change, right here, what I told you. It's not understanding it, actually doing it. If you have changed, it doesn't mean that you have to go down just to satisfy some emotional need of somebody else. This is very important to a spiritual aspirant, especially people who have families. How to be open to the family, more compassionate, but not go down to their level of being. I found it in my life the hardest thing I had to do. Sustaining having this Vishnu energy is essential. We have to sustain. We work so hard. That's why I call this work spiritual work. It's way above meditation. You really work inside. And then once fruits of your work come about, and you have changed, you have to have enough self-respect to hold on to the changes. And I'm talking about inner changes. And only a person knows what the inner change is. It's between one and God. Nobody else even knows what's going on. You have this self-pride of knowing that you have encountered a monster inside you and you slay them. A small little habit of something you've been doing for 30, 40 years, and you were able to break it. And there's a sense of tremendous pride that's involved inside. You know that you are getting stronger because breaking one's patterns, the very deep ones, is really big. It's big, it's hard. So sustaining, I found out, is just as important, if not more, than the Shiva energy of destruction and rebirth. And in the last years of my life, I found that from all this trilogy, the Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, I really am mostly attached and influenced by Vishnu deity, this sustaining, which means sustaining. It doesn't matter if this deity exists or don't, that's sustaining. Sustaining what you achieved inside. Everything in life comes and nibbles at you. Everything. And it's all a test to see, are you going to sustain what you have achieved, or are you going to slowly go down? And before you know it, you're back where you started 3 months ago, and this hard work went in vain. And when you develop spiritual sensitivity, you always know. You can fool the world, you can't fool yourself.